What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. Today we're going to be talking Week 4, Thursday Night Football 2020, and it was the Jets and the Broncos. Both teams sucked. They come in at 0-3. Horrific teams, but to be honest, with no preseason, I see now that there are a lot of injuries going on, and a lot of you guys are wondering, like, don't these athletes take care of their bodies? What are they doing? I think it's a lot of, like, you got to get used to the sport that you're playing. Like, you're not truly in shape for the sport that you're playing unless you have time to play the sport. We've seen that with the basketball. Certain players, when the bubble first started, after 4-month or 5-month layoff, they were getting injured. So it's a similar thing, and this is a much more physical game. But let's jump into some of the things that were going on within the game. All right, we got this dude, Brett, for the Broncos, first-time starter, and then you got Sam Darnold getting injured, and Nick Foles coming in. No, not Nick Foles. That was, I always confuse Nick Foles with Flacco, because they both suck, but they play well in the playoffs. Like, it's like weird, dude. Both of those guys, I don't know what they're doing, but it doesn't really matter, though, right? Let's take a look at Sam Darnold real quick, right? 230 yards, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions. Joe Flacco, like I said, he came in 0 TDs, 0 interceptions, but Flacco actually, while Darnold went out for that little time, he actually looked decent. I wasn't really overly surprised that these guys come in and then you recognize them as veterans and they play well, but they took him out in the middle of a drive, which was actually, it was kind of shocking that they didn't even let him finish the drive. So that kind of shows me that they don't believe in Flacco, because even the commentators are like, yo, why wouldn't they let him finish the drive out? That doesn't make any sense. But in all honesty, the guy sucks. So we're going to go ahead and like just talk about the Jets in general. Frank Gore is 947 years old, and he somehow still has a job in the NFL. But shout out to him, though, because he's still grinding. He doesn't want to go home for some reason and just retire. I have no idea what's going on with that guy, but he has 13 carries for 30 yards. But let's take a look at the receiving core, right? Jamison Crowder is there. At this game, he's the number 1 receiver. And to me, he's just an average guy, right? So he gets 10 targets, gets 7 receptions, 104 yards, blah, blah, blah. Jeff Smith, I don't even know who that guy is, but it doesn't really matter, though. It just sounds like a regular generic guy that they make up in a Madden game or something, Jeff Smith. But he has 7 receptions. He had 9 targets, 81 yards. Chris Hogan, we all know about him. He's moved around a little bit. Everybody else we need to acknowledge. But I'm going to tell you this again, right? The Jets, we all know they were going 0-4. Like, if you try to sit up here, even if you're a Jets fan, you have to feel bad because you thought that they might win because they were up in this game at a point. And that's your fault. And I keep trying to tell you, Jet fans, stop acting as if this team should be in the NFL. Adam Gase should be fired effective immediately, but they're not going to fire him because there's really nobody that's going to take that job right now and build it from the ground up and make them a formidable team. If we're being honest about it, it's just not going to happen. So there's certain things that we have to accept, and we know that the Jets are going to be trash. Now, are they going to go 0-16? There's probably going to be some people on the schedule that may prevent that from happening. I gotta double check and take a look at their schedule, but we don't believe that they're gonna do anything. If we're being honest about it, Sam Darnold, he made some really good throws outside the pocket, though. He did, impress me a little. Like, he has that talent, he has the arm strength. It's just the fact that he plays for the Jets, and it's just like you keep remembering that. You're looking at the uniform and you're like, hold on, that's the Jets, dude. They suck. So realistically, our brains won't let us accept the fact that they're going to win anything. So I've already accepted it. As far as like diehard Jet fans, if you guys feel that you don't want to accept it, or you feel as if that they are a decent team, that's your fault. All right, that's pretty much where we are with it. So I can't debate it because history has shown that regardless of what's going on, the Jets are the Jets. So I probably see Sam Darnold having another explosive game and getting a win. I see them getting at least 1 win, maybe 1-15, something like that this season. If they're lucky, they can squeak out 2 wins, but I don't really see, pretty much if you look at the Jets on your schedule, that should be a W. They should be a team that you look at like, all right, we're going to go in there and just handle our business and just take care. These dudes suck. That's the mentality you have to have when you play the Jets. Now, heading over to the Broncos, I wasn't sure how this was going to work. Drew Lock, I don't know when he's going to return. You guys, it's injuries are so weird, so we have to wait to kind of see how these athletes heal. But Brett went out there, and when he had 3 interceptions, and they were bad interceptions. If we're being honest about it, they were really bad interceptions. So I don't know how it's going to continue to evolve, but I was very happy for Melvin Gordon, all right, because this was a guy that was treated like garbage. when he was running the ball with Phillip Rivers and those boys, and Phillip Rivers ended up with the Colts. Everything became kind of weird. So I didn't know what would happen with him, and to see him go over 100 yards was decent. 2 touchdowns. If you play fantasy, that was pretty huge for you guys as well. So I liked that. That was a shining star for me right there, because when he held out, nobody cared. When he held out last year, was it last year? I think it was last year he held out, and they were like, all right, yo, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the ownership was like, all right, oh, you holding out? All right, whatever, Gordon. And he just came back, and it was like nobody cared about it. So I already knew that he was going to be gone the next season, which he is now, and he's obviously playing with the Broncos, but it was like really, really bad the way they treated him. And granted, his value, he overthought his value, and when you make that mistake, the NFL owners will let you know that you made that mistake. They will let you know, like, look, dude, you are not like Zeke Elliott or any of these other guys. Like, you suck. And that's pretty much what they did to him. And it was good to see him have a little bit of, star power. Even though you're playing against the Jets, where you and I, that's listening to this podcast right now, we'll go out there and run 400 yards on the Jets. But it was good to see Melvin Gordon have a little bit more success with that. Other than that, Tim Patrick, 113 yards, a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, welcome to the NFL. He actually mossed that defender. It was a very, very good catch because the defender should have picked it, but it's the Jets. Literally, this dude Brett threw the ball right to the defender, but Jerry Jeudy took it out of the guy's hand. So I like that aggressiveness from a rookie wide receiver, and it just shows more of the fact that the Jets are a horrific football team, because a lot of things that was thrown right to them, they got 3, but they should have had 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude Brett should have threw for 5 intos, but dudes can't catch the ball, so it doesn't matter. None of that really matters, and you got to just be able to understand that. So, the Broncos, I don't really see them doing much either. Von Miller being out is a very, very huge factor, but I got to see Chubb go out there, get some sacks. That was really good to see that. But, we're not expecting anything from the Broncos either. If we're honest about it, the way that they're playing and their coaching, the coaching is what's really bad, because they honestly should have more wins. They are in no league of the Jets. I'm not saying that they're like the Jets. The Broncos have potential to win more games than the Jets, but coaching is really hurting them. And that's something that they're going to have to probably look into as soon as possible. But, Drew Lock, I was very, very happy to, just know that he would probably be the starter throughout the year. Him getting hurt changes my view on them, because he was an exciting player to watch. But Brett, he's an average, decent guy. He gets his first win, whatever, cool. But Jerry Jeudy, I like that guy, bro. And I want to see him do well. I also want to see Melvin Gordon go out there and do well. And, we'll see what happens with the Broncos. But overall, it was a very, very strange game that ended in a rainy night. And it is what it is. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. You go ahead and have a great day. Until next time, one love.